What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica. It's Monday. Hope everyone had a good weekend. We are discussing the Real Housewives of Atlanta review episode. I don't even remember what episode it was. I want to say it's either 10 or 11. But we are halfway through the season. And it is, they still haven't gotten to, they keep, stringing us along with this confrontation between the queens of the show, NeNe and Kenya. So everybody really wants to see that. So they start off where they left off. NeNe walks up to the rooftop, wherever they were. And she's just sitting there very, whatever, just sitting there, I guess, trying to fill out, what are y'all talking about, is what she said later. And then it was weird that Cynthia wanted to continue the conversation when NeNe was there. I don't know. But Kenya said, I would never do that to you, so I would never do anything to ruin your proposal. And that's just what it is. And then Tanya said something to Kenya they said, oh my God, Tanya, and Tanya wasn't there, and someone else wasn't there, and they were, and NeNe wasn't there, and they were like, oh, I wish Kenya would have called me and told me, and if I was Kenya, I would have said, well, Kandi told me, so why didn't Kandi say anything in the group text? Whatever. Anyways, what happened after that? So, Marlo and NeNe and Kandi are sitting there, and Yvonne is sitting there. They're talking about, NeNe getting there or whatever. They're just having a little small talk or whatever. And, they were talking about how Kenya likes to make events about her. It's so funny when NeNe says stuff about Kenya, and she tries to say things like, when she tries to say, oh, this is what Kenya would do, or this is what NeNe makes events about herself. And somebody in the comments or something, somebody said that NeNe and Kenya are very similar. I don't know if they are. I think Kenya is probably smarter than NeNe. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I really don't give a fuck. And then she sends Yvonne to the door, and then she almost called Yvonne by another name. That's why Yvonne is a little puppy dog for NeNe, because NeNe didn't even remember her name. So I don't know if NeNe was intoxicated or what. But then she goes to the door. She goes, honey, she was like, I don't know, something. And then she goes, I told you to leave the blonde to me. And she goes to the door, and Kandi's at the door. And Kandi, they call Kandi, Tanya's there too. They call Kandi KMZ. So I'm glad that everybody has an understanding that Kandi is the gossip site. Okay, if you want the gossip to travel, tell Kandi. I've been saying, it's so funny how I've been saying it for years. Kandi is a textbook clinical Taurus, she is. And you Taurus gang, whatever your Taurus placements are, y'all get in here and people act like they sun signs are incapable of having negative attributes. I can't stand when y'all get in the comments and it don't have nothing to do with her being a Scorpio. It don't have nothing to do with her being a Taurus. Okay, just because you don't identify with that negative attribute doesn't mean that it is not a negative attribute of that sign. Girl, just goddamn. I know how it is when I want to feel good about myself and I want to give myself a pat on the back. I go looking for things, positive things about a Virgo to make myself feel good. Nobody wants to be able to identify with someone doing some negative shit. So again, Kandi is a textbook Taurus. They know they like to talk about everybody else but themselves. So here we are. Kandi is KMZ. So they talked about the card. NeNe says she's never been friends with B. Scott, and we all know that is a lie. And like Kenya said last night on Twitter, why would I want to make it? Why would I send this is where the rationale, this is where brains comes in, and this is why I fuck with Kenya Summer more, is because why would she want to make NeNe look good? Like Kenya, she sent the card to B. Scott. Why the fuck would Kenya want to make NeNe look good? Come on, y'all. And then, like, what's her name said? And she didn't write that shit because she's illiterate and she's a liar. That's what Kenya said about NeNe last night on Twitter. Why would I want to make her look good? That's my enemy. I don't want to make her look good by sending it to B. Scott and saying this and that and that. And B. Scott has even said, honey, we have receipts to show that you know who the fuck we are, and you know that you talk to blogs, so don't lie. So NeNe is lying, and I really want to be honest, and I really don't think that there's a recording. I think this is just one of NeNe's things. You know how, remember when we used to always ask what was NeNe's problem with different people who she had issues with, like that little board that they put together when Kenya was like, okay, I see that NeNe is making up with Eva, she's making up with whoever the other women are, and then she was like, and maybe her next stop is Porsha, and then maybe Cynthia, but I know she ain't coming to me. And I love that she said that, because that's what I said last night. I said, honey, she said she wants to apologize to Eva, Porsha, and Cynthia. She never mentioned Kenya. And like I said last night, I really believe that at the root of NeNe's issues with Kenya is that Kenya came to that show to replace NeNe because NeNe was taking her big nose to Hollywood, and when she got to Hollywood and her shows did not pop, she brought her fixed nose back to Real Housewives of Atlanta, and Kenya was already the star. Kenya was already bringing in the ratings. If you loved her or if you hated her, she was bringing in the ratings. She was the star of the show, period. And I don't think that sits well with NeNe, because at the base, NeNe doesn't have what. Y'all tell me in the comments, what is NeNe and Kenya's problem? What is their beef? Where does it stem from? Maybe I forgot. I don't know. But I feel like that's where it's from. This woman is the star of the show. She's gone to battle with everybody. Porsha, Phaedra, same people that NeNe has gone to battle with, but yet NeNe wants to call Kenya a dirty girl and all this other stuff. Was they calling you dirty when you was choking Kim Zolciak on the side in Atlantic Square? Were they calling you dirty when you got in Kim Zolciak's face on Kandi's tour bus, and when you told her you would pop her eyes out, bloop bloop? Remember that? I'm just like, what is NeNe talking about? NeNe, when it comes to Kenya, it doesn't make sense. So I would like for somebody to make it make sense. I could understand Porsha, Phaedra, I could understand all those people that Kenya has had issues with, but NeNe, I don't even understand. I don't get it. Kenya has never had a problem with Kandi or Cynthia. They've just had, words. NeNe says she doesn't talk to the blogs, and we know that she does. We know that's a lie. Their outfits, they went to go get their try-on outfits for Carnival. It looked cute. It was funny when Marlo was like, I might need a third piece. Let me tell you something. When Rox does the impression of Marlo with that deep voice, oh my God, it is so funny to me. She does impressions of Kandi well, and she does impressions of Marlo well. Her Porsha impression, I don't know, but it's funny. The shit is hilarious to me, and every time, because when she starts talking for them, she uses their voices, and it's hilarious to me. Well, she called Eva over. NeNe was in there with her glasses on. She called Eva over. As soon as NeNe came in the room, Kenya and Cynthia left the room. They're like, we don't want to be in here with her because we still don't know who is the person who is recording people around here. And I'm like, Kandi, I want to know who's recording people, because that's just a violation. It really is a violation, especially when you're supposed to be sitting around people that you semi-trust, at least a little bit, trust enough to actually be co-workers with. But to know that somebody is sitting around recording people, and like Kenya said, Cynthia was well within her right to say whatever she said about NeNe. We want to know who recorded her, because Cynthia is not wrong in this at all. So we just want to know who's recording her, and that's just it. They get ready to go on the side of the building. It was really cute, very adventurous. I love to see it. You know, I love to see it. I hate when we make comments like black people don't do that and black people don't hang off the sides of buildings. That shit is ignorant as hell to me. And it's ironic to be the most God-fearing group of people, and yet we dismiss adventure because of fear. And we just do. A lot of us do. We are so scared, but so God-fearing at the same time. Honey, if you die, what's the problem? What's the problem if you die? What is the problem? You just die. You gonna die one day? God. Well, okay, yes. I don't wanna bring it faster than it should. How do you know you're bringing it faster? Death is on time. Shit. No matter if it's inconvenience for you or not, the shit is on time. All right. NeNe didn't go out. Of course, Eva wouldn't go out because she's pregnant. They all did it. Kandi did a good job of getting out there. Kandi and Kenya both were a little bit more adventurous. They're sitting down talking, and NeNe is talking to Eva. They've made up. And she's like, you know, I really want to make up with Porsha and this and that. But then she started, just like Porsha said, I don't think Porsha is really in the place to make up with NeNe right now, because NeNe, just like she exhibited with Cynthia and like she exhibited with Eva, when Eva said, well, you know, you blocked me, she was like, no, I just unfollowed you. Bitch, you know what the fuck we're talking about. Don't do the semantics when it's time for you to take accountability. Don't do that shit. NeNe did that. She did it with Cynthia when Cynthia's like, well, you blocked me. And then she was like, well, you blocked me first. Okay. Girl, you're wrong in this situation right here, sweetheart. You need to be the one who's apologetic and leaving a little bit more room. But we know that NeNe has a problem with holding herself accountable. Although I have to give it to her, it seemed to be sincere. Just like Kenya asked Eva, was the apology sincere? She's like, I couldn't tell. She had her sunglasses on. So I figured if she was sincere, you know, a lot of people be like, okay, look, I want you to see me. I want you to look at my eyes so that you can see that I'm serious. So she's talking about Porsha at the table with Eva, and they're having, you know, seafood and cocktails. And she starts saying, like, I felt like Porsha wasn't being a good friend to me. How did calling her a fat, ugly, a bitch, or a fat bitch, or how did all of those things come out of your mouth just based on her not being a good friend to you? And this idea that NeNe has, it's really exhausting. Like, I'm so tired of it. Like, everybody has to be this good friend to her when she's ready. She puts everybody on a shelf, and when she's ready to play with you, she expects you to be her good friend. But then when you're like, bitch, I'm tired of you only wanting to play with me when you want to. I'm tired of it. Now all of a sudden this person is a bad friend. She done told everybody on the damn show, you're a bad friend, you're a bad friend, you're a bad friend. Well, what kind of fucking friend are you, bitch? Because you're not an angel. You really not. You're really not, NeNe. You really not. And it's exhausting. When she said that, I don't know if anybody else caught it because she didn't stay on it a long time. She was just like, she wasn't being the friend that, or the sister that I thought she should be, or something like that. The texts that NeNe sent to Porsha were disgusting. How could you say those things to somebody if that's your friend? There's other things that you can choose from to say things if you want to talk shit to your friend while you're mad at them. And that's one thing that you have to remember when you're fighting with your friends. You got to be mindful of the things that you say, because you can't take the shit back. And you just can't take it back. And, you know, she made comments about Porsha being fat. She made comments about Kenya being fat and saying she was having a buffalo and all this other stuff. But then want to act like she wants to talk to Kenya once she gets to think, oh, she didn't talk to me. But you're calling this lady a buffalo in the next breath, and you're so confused as to why she doesn't want to talk to you, bitch, because you're a nasty, dirty girl. And that's what it is. That's just what it is. Dennis sends Porsha flowers, and he says something doggone it. And Porsha's delayed ass was talking about, well, because he's in the doghouse. No, girl, it's because he's a hot dog man. That's why he uses dog euphemisms, girl. Like, I was like, Porsha is so slow. You gotta love it, though. She is a delayed diva, honey. She really is. Girl, even the producers was like, so what did you think it meant? Well, because he's in the doghouse. He really isn't in the doghouse. He's really just not in his dog bed. He's really just out of your bed, at the foot of your bed, sleeping at the foot of your bed. He's not outside in the doghouse, Porsha. It's very clear. So he sends her the flowers. She calls Lauren to tell her that she sent flowers. And she said, oh, Dennis really knows how to find flowers out of the country. I'm sure he does. Tanya, I don't know. I can't believe that she's supporting this thing with Dennis and Porsha. I just like, okay. They get on the bus and they start doing impressions. And Kenya does, whose impression did she do? I forgot. Kandi did NeNe, talking about look at my legs. From the pillow fight, look at my legs. What? Apollo, stop looking at my legs. Stop looking at my legs, Apollo. Remember when NeNe said that at the pillow fight? She was so funny. Stop looking at my legs. Who else? Yvonne's and Porsha impression of Porsha was really, why was she bent over like that? Is it because Portia's ass is real big and it looks like she's a bent over old lady with a big butt? I didn't get that. Yvonne is so like, girl, why are you here? I just don't get it, but whatever. But I did notice that no one did an impersonation of Kenya, unless I missed it. And even Kenya was like, y'all can't get mad at the impersonations, don't get mad. But everybody seemed to take it in stride. Everybody was a good sport about it. And I just noticed that no one did Kenya. No one impersonated Kenya. I noticed that. What else? Paul showed up at the outdoor thing for, Tanya's thing. I don't know who Paul is. Apparently he's her fiance. And he's there, and she looks very excited that he's there. And then Dennis shows up, and she's like, Dennis, what the fuck are you doing here? And he's like, he shows her that old ass ring. It ain't even in a box anymore because you didn't throw the box away because it's the same ring. And I think a lot of people are just like, whatever. Some people are happy for Porsha. I just don't know that if I was her friend, would I be, you have to support her, but I wouldn't be encouraging it. You know what I mean? Like, you could support someone in their bad decision and be like, girl, I'll be here for you when all the chips fall. But you don't have to be like, girl, go and be with Dennis. And be like, okay, girl, you could support a friend without encouraging the behavior. You know what I mean? And I think, I don't know, there's a lot of, I'm trying not to be so cynical about these marriages and partnerships and shit, but the men, how disrespectful they are and how they humiliate their partners and then say that love is fleeting. That's not love. That is not a gesture of love to humiliate someone and, cheat on them while they're pregnant. It's not anything that I can encourage someone to actually walk into. I feel like Porsha has an out. Like, this is an out. Here's your big ass red flag and horns and sirens and shit. And you're just like, well, I'll just walk into this burning house, and I'm like, like I said, it's not something that I can encourage. Y'all go Porsha with the, but I can't encourage no shit like that, nor can I be like, oh, I'm so happy for Porsha, because I just think that when he's already set the goalposts like way out. And at this point, if he knows that he can stick his penis into another woman before, because when they went to the damn therapy, he cheated on her while she was pregnant, and then blamed her postpartum depression as to why he cheated again. So in my eyes, I've seen Dennis cheat twice. So let me know if I'm wrong, but I just don't think that I don't understand how much low you can go when you're cheating and humping on women and putting your penis in and out of vagina, laying between another woman's legs while your fiance is pregnant. And then the fiance be like, okay, well, I'll take you back. That's not something that I can support. So if y'all support that, that's great. That's just what y'all do. They're all sitting around at the thing, and they're having drinks, and Kandi, Porsha, and Kenya walk away. And they're like, we'll be right back. So they go to the bar to get drinks. Kandi with her bottle of water. So they said, we're gonna play the good cop, the bad cop, and the one in between. And Kenya told Porsha, look, you're gonna have to pay the bad cop because you need to play the bad cop. And like I said on Twitter last night, if y'all didn't see that Kenya knows her position, she knows the role that she plays on this show, for her to tell Porsha, it's time for you to play the bad cop, I'm not doing the bad cop this time. You understand what I'm saying? She knows what her role is. So it was really cute how they were like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. And then of course Kandi was like, well, I think Yvonne is ready to crack. So they call, Kenya goes and gets Yvonne. Yvonne, can you come here for a second? And they're questioning. And I love when she was like, I feel like I'm being attacked. And Kenya said, you're not being attacked. You are being asked a line of questions relevant to a situation that's happening. No one's attacking you, girl. I love it. I was like, Kenya, let that bitch know, please. Let her know. Nobody's attacking you. Kenya was very jokey about it, but she was like, she just came out and said it. She's like, we just want to know who is the person recording. And Yvonne says, well, I know who did it. And she says, and Kenya, let me tell you, bitch, how Kenya knows. That's how you have to ask people the right questions, especially if you know they're going to avoid answering them. So she didn't ask her, well, who did it? She said, how do you know who recorded her? Not, well, she said, I know who you recorded. She said, how do you know who recorded her then? Bitch, I said, yes, Kenya, get that bitch. Come, do your line of questioning, ho. Do it. Get that bitch. And then did y'all catch it when they were walking away and Marlo was like, oh, go find somebody's daddy. And then Porsha said, somebody's granddaddy, child. Because you know Marlo likes to mess with the older generation. The older men. They say she likes to with the older men. Like Kenya said to Yvonne, Cynthia was well within her right to say whatever it is she had to say about NeNe. We just want to know who recorded the bitch. That's it. Then they go back to to NeNe and Cynthia, and Marlo sets it up. Marlo's very, very odd, and she doesn't set things up well. She is like, well, NeNe, they're talking right there, and she's like, well, Cynthia wanted to be able to thank you for, your card and your gesture and this and that. And she was like, thank you. And then they held hands. And then she was like, well, I wanted to know if you would unblock me. And she was like, well, you blocked me first. And just like Cynthia said in her interview, it's always tit for tat with NeNe. That's why it's really, when you have a friendship with somebody who in a spat, they go tit for tat and they never play the bigger person, it gets exhausting. And I mean, does she have to play the bigger person? No, she doesn't. That's just her personality. She doesn't have to. It's not required. But after a while, people get tired of that shit and they don't want to be bothered. Right? All right. And that was the end of the episode. We're going to get to next week where they show Yvonne being kicked out by security. Kenya was like, security? Kenya will call security, baby. She will call security in a heartbeat. She calls security. Yvonne gets kicked out. While Yvonne is on her way out, she tells Porsha, worry about your man screwing animals. What? She was like, that bitch is not going to be in here talking about my family. Bitch, you don't even hold a peach out this motherfucker. What the fuck are you in here for? Why are you here? Eva did Yvonne on the bus. That's what she did, Yvonne on the bus. Said she was the bitch. She was the bitch. Or whatever. What happened after that? So, Cynthia was trying to leave, and NeNe was like, let me just talk to you. And Kenya was like, NeNe, you had a chance to talk. You had the floor. And then NeNe turns around and tells Kenya, shut up, bitch. And then Kenya says, no, you shut up, bitch. And then they start getting in each other's face. And then it looks like, they start getting into it. They go in the hallway, and NeNe's chasing after. The animosity, maybe NeNe is carrying the animosity of the viewers. Maybe that's why she doesn't like Kenya, because it's a lot of people who dislike Kenya for for their reasons. Okay, where are you going? And there's people who dislike Kenya for their reasons, and maybe that's what NeNe is carrying. Maybe NeNe is carrying the animosity of the viewers, because to me, I don't think it makes sense. So if y'all can get down in the comments and let me know what y'all think the root of NeNe and Kenya's problem is. I really just believe that she's like, she cannot get to the top and back to the top of her position, because Kenya is still here. Kenya is the villain of the show. People cannot stand Kenya. People watch the show so they can not like Kenya or say the things that they, whatever the reasons is. And I think NeNe she's not, how NeNe was always like, I'm the queen of the show, I'm the queen of the show, I'm the queen of the show. You want to come for the queen? It's always this. And the only one who doesn't back down from NeNe is Kenya. So maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's just a battle of, forces. Like, I don't know. Y'all get down in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. Anything else? That's pretty much it. We're gonna see tomorrow, unless they extend it out again. I think this was episode 10, but it's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. What it is. It is what it is. So far, in terms of personal stories, Kandi's personal story is her and Todd and their parenting issues. Out of that, we don't know anything else going on with Kandi. Cynthia's personal story, when I say personal story, I mean their storyline. It's her getting engaged to Mike. That's already happened. Kenya's personal story is her issues with her husband and, them trying to get past all the shit. Well, we know that Kenya has filed for divorce. Whatever type of divorce you can get wherever she got married, it wasn't required for her to get a marriage license, but they did say she filed for divorce. So however way they do that based on where she got married, that's fine. So we already know that. Porsha's storyline is her and Dennis. Eva's storyline is what? Finding a house? Is that part of her storyline? And then their storylines is each other, is the dynamic of their friendships and things like that. So next week we see, no. At the end of the episode, Tanya is yelling. She seems very nervous. Like, she seems like her adrenaline was up. We want to show you what love looks like. That's not love. And I feel so disgusted when I see things like that. I'm just very cynical when it comes to stuff like that. It's not something that I can support. I just can't do it. And I might seem like a hater, and I might seem miserable, or whatever you want to say, because, a woman's happiness is dependent on her being able to keep a man or attract a man, or to be happy because somebody is getting engaged to a man who cheats on them. If I don't find happiness or joy in that, then somehow I'm miserable. Fine. Whatever it is. But Tanya was like, here comes Dennis slithering through the crowd. It was just so gross. I was so disgusted. Here he comes slithering through the crowd with the same ring. And I feel bad for Porsha, because she's so happy. And it's like, what else can he do to her? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know. I just cannot support it. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't. Like, I don't like Curtis. Any man, I feel like we're going to talk about Married to Medicine. Maybe on our lunch break we'll talk about Married to Medicine. But here he comes. He's slithering through the crowd. Porsha looks surprised, and then I guess he's going to re-propose. What is the proposal? How have you changed the proposal? How is the proposal changed? You know, you write a proposal out to get into a business arrangement with someone, and you renege on the proposal, and the proposal is off the table. You mean to tell me you come back with the same proposal? What's different? How is this proposal going to be lucrative for my business? How is us coming together as a business going to be lucrative? What is it? I don't get it. Honey, y'all be happy for Porsha. Would y'all be happy for your friend if she was getting married to a man who cheated on her while she was pregnant? Like, for real? Like, really? Okay, then that's what it is. Y'all take care of each other. Protect your energy. We'll get down in the comments. I don't know. All right, peace.